Okay, good morning. I was talking to people about the fun foam, using it as a jelly plate that someone else had an idea for on the Documented Life Project, and I'm not sure who originally posted that, so I apologize, but their idea was awesome, and I got one, and there's been some questions on what I'm doing. So I am not an art teacher at all. I'm just playing around with these, and I am sharing what I found. So hopefully you can see this well. This is the craft sheet that I got. It's just called Foamies, and I think they were like $1.29 at my store. And they're kind of thick. They're not the thinner ones. I'm sure you could use the thinner ones or put some together, whatever. But just take your tag off and you're ready to go with them. This is the one I've been using. So unlike, I guess, the jelly plates come clean when you're done, these are a little messier. So for me, I just grabbed some cover stock from Staples, because 250 sheets and you can do a lot of playing around with that. And I just used that. I used regular cheap acrylic craft paints and some of my color washes, inks, or just some that I made on my own. I also have the Delusions, but I haven't tried those yet on this. I'm sure they'll work great. So this is what I do to get started. I use a major amount of water. I don't think they use that on a jelly plate at all, but just for the surface of it, I always started out mine with a spritz of water. And you can tell I've been doing these a few times now. And then paints, just putting a couple dabs wherever. It's always fun because I didn't see how they turned out, or have an idea how they was going to turn out when I got started. I guess I should thin my paints out a bit. But and so then you can just spread them around with your brayer. I got a feeling that after I use these a few times, it's going to be hard to see exactly where I have paints, just because they did get discolored. But for how cheap it is, I'm not going to worry. So I don't know how they did it on the jelly plates, but I tried just pressing my stencils into the paint, and it worked pretty good the first time. The second time it didn't work so good, so I'm not sure if it depends on the colors of the paint, but I just pressed it down on there and it removed some of it. Oh, it's got some leftovers from before. You can do that. Let's see how this one works. I did realize if I'm using stencils with letters or numbers, to put them backwards. Took me a couple mistakes to figure that one out. So I'm not sure if you can see the design in there. It does leave an impression. And then for mine, I also went back and used my ink sprays to do some stencils. See, my inks are getting a little messy. Okay. And we'll try this. I'm not liking this one at all at the moment, but I won't worry about it either. And you can also just, if you want to, while it's got the ink on it, flip it over, get a different design there. And then just grab your paper that you're going to use and put it over that. A lot of people make the designs in them with, credit card or drawing or whatever, and I tried that too. I also don't clean mine off. This doesn't clean off the same, so I just use it a couple times over. So that's a first print off this one. And then if I want to do more on them, I just grab different colors or whatever. Do some different things or add to it. Actually, I kind of like the stencil, so you can do that. add to it with stencil. Take a stamp if you have one. You can stamp in it, and I'm not sure if it's going to leave much of a design or not. And then, you know, really you can just keep going with the same one over and over. If you just mist it again with water again, it just reactivates that paint. And you can do another. That got kind of messy when I smeared it. Guess it's not as crisp. But they're easy to clean off. I just, you know, if I wasn't doing it this way, I would run it out to my garage sink and just hose it off, which is what I normally would have done with it. Once you do that, you can just start over with different colors. Really not my day for paint today. I can see that's what's gonna kind of day it's gonna be. So it really doesn't take much. Actually kind of like that, like it is, but you can do the same things that you would on a canvas, doing your designs with anything you want. Just keep adding more paints with it. There's my paint or my water. And then when mine dried, I went back and stamped on them and things like that. So I actually like doing that better. Now here, hold this one. Here, my stencils are getting all caught. But using my stencils that already had some ink on them, I don't always clean them off right away. Kind of like what it does. So, but I mean, you know, this took just what, a couple minutes, if that. And we got a couple. And you can see the design coming out here from stamping, where I stamped and it took the paint off of it. Couldn't see it at first when we pulled it up, but it did change it later. So they're really easy, cheap. I'd give it a try because I know I couldn't do the jelly plate, but these work great. Thank you.